does that music remind you of the ballet? It's supposed to. Our story tonight is about the ballet, with an occasional reference to Listerine, of course.
Oh, of course.
Naturally. What else?
Listerine Antiseptic and Listerine Toothpaste present America's favorite family comedy, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, starring the entire Nelson family, Ozzie, Harriet, David, and Ricky. So settle back in your easy chairs and enjoy another delightful half hour with all the Nelsons. Ozzie Nelson, of course, plays the part of the head of the Nelson household, Ozzie. And here is his lovely wife, Harriet Nelson, who keeps the family on an even keel. Hello, Harriet. The smiling young teenager we now see is David Nelson, older of the two Nelson boys and played by David Nelson. And here we have the youngest of the Nelsons, the little guy with the twinkle in his eye, Ricky Nelson, played by Ricky Nelson. The Nelsons' next-door neighbor, Mr. Thornberry, better known as Ozzie's pal Thorny, is played by DeFore.
Good morning, officer.
Morning.
It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly is.
Well, I don't want to keep you any longer. I imagine you're anxious to get back on your beat.
Oh, this is my beat, right here.
Oh. Well, how have things been this morning? Kind of quiet?
Oh, yes. So far.
Oh, well, that's fine.
I'm afraid you won't find that fire hydrant very comfortable.
Well, for goodness sakes. Why, somebody must have pushed my car right up in front of this fire plug. Officer, I want you to take a look at this.
Yes, I've already seen it, thanks.
It makes you wonder what in the world would prompt a person to do a devilish thing like this, to push a man's car right up in front of a fire plug.
Well, people do some strange things sometimes. As a matter of fact, I've never given a man a ticket for parking in front of a fire plug.
Oh, well, that's a mighty nice attitude, officer, a mighty nice attitude.
You didn't let me finish.
Oh, I beg your pardon. You were saying?
I've never given a ticket to a man for parking in front of a fire plug who didn't insist that he was pushed there. Not in your words, you understand.
No, of course. It's just that the innocent have to suffer along with the guilty. Not suffer exactly, but suffer the embarrassment of having the police officer point out that the car is illegally parked and requesting the innocent party not to do it again, or he's liable to get a ticket.
Yeah.
The whole thing is very embarrassing for all concerned.
Well, these things are understandable sometimes. I suppose you were standing in line for a ticket to the ballet. It's really been a sellout this year.
Oh, I didn't realize so many people were interested in the ballet.
Oh, yes, you'd be surprised. As a matter of fact, I never went in for it much myself until I was put on this beat a week ago. Now I'm what you might call a regular fan.
Oh, then you've seen the show?
Every night. You know, you really have to be in top physical condition to put on a performance like they do night after night.
Oh, I imagine it's pretty strenuous, jumping up and down and hopping around the way they do.
I should say it is. And yet it's amazing how few people realize the true perfection of the ballet. Each dancer is a magnificently trained athlete. It's an inspiring spectacle to behold.
Oh, yes, I imagine it is. Although, frankly, I've never given it much thought. You know, it's one of those things that you just don't give much thought to.
Oh, you're really going to enjoy it. How many tickets did you get?
Oh, no, I don't think you understand. You see, I didn't come down to... that is not that I wouldn't enjoy having a couple of tickets, but there's quite a line here, and I don't...
Then you didn't get your tickets yet?
No, I'm afraid I'm going to have to forego the pleasure.
Well, I couldn't let you do a thing like that, Mr.
A fire plug. Nelson.
Oh, watch those Freudian slips, Mr. Nelson.
I don't know what brought that to my ticket. It's in my mind today.
tell you what I'm going to do, Mr. Nelson. I don't want you to miss that ballet, so I'm going to insist that you take a couple of tickets I have right here.
Oh, now, wait a minute. I couldn't do a thing like that.
Now, don't you try to thank me. I'd be a fine one to let you go home empty-handed after you came all the way down and parked right in front here just to get a ticket to the ballet.
Oh, yes. Well, what is your wife going to say when you come home without the tickets?
She'll be tickled to death. She's chairman of the committee selling them.
Fine.
Here you are. That's $2.50 apiece.
Oh, say, you've got quite a stack there, haven't you?
You should have seen them before I noticed that fire plug.
Is that right, $5?
Yes, that's right, and thank you very much. I know you're really going to enjoy it.
Well, I'm sure I will. Thanks a lot. I'll be seeing you, officer.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hope to see you next month.
Next month? But I thought this was tonight and tomorrow night.
That's right. Next month is the policeman's ball.
Hi, Clara. Come on in.
Oh, well, I can only stay a minute. I'm on the warpath today, and that's the honest truth.
Oh, it can't be as bad as all that. Come on in, sit down, and tell me about it.
You wait till you hear. Last night, out of a clear sky, what did this husband of mine do but come waltzing into the house with 2 tickets for the ballet?
Well, it sounds wonderful.
That's what I thought at first.
I wish I could get Ozzie to go. I've been trying to for years.
Oh, you won't have any trouble this year, honey. I'll bet every man in town is there, and that's the honest truth.
Well, for goodness sakes, why?
I just found out myself a half an hour ago. What do you think the name of the ballet is this year?
I don't think I've heard.
Hold your breath, honey. It's called Escapades Along the Riviera. The whole thing takes place on the beach in France. Can't you just imagine what that ballet's going to be like?
Well, it sounds like it's going to be very interesting.
Maybe so, but you know those French girls with their ooh-la-las and everything? They're an age and they've got a bathing suit.
It certainly sounds like an unusual ballet, though.
Wait till I see that husband of mine. He thinks he's so smart. Got tickets in the second row. I should have known there was something fishy about the whole thing the minute he told me.
Well, now, why do you say that?
Well, for one thing, he came in with some fantastic story about a policeman practically forcing him to buy the tickets.
Well, maybe it was the truth.
That's what I thought, until Mary Peabody told me her husband came home with the same story.
Well, I'll admit it doesn't have much originality, but I wouldn't let it worry me.
Mary seems to think they got together and made the whole thing up.
Sounds like an awful lot of trouble to go to. This must be quite a show.
Well, whatever it is, Joe's not going to see it, and that's the honest truth.
Oh, well, I wouldn't let it bother me, Clara.
I bet you wouldn't talk like that if Ozzie came waltzing in with a couple of tickets.
I'm afraid there's not much chance of that. I can't even get him out to see a movie lately. I made the mistake of buying him a couple of good books last week, and good night, I can't get him out of the chair.
I think I'll buy Joe some books. He can read them while he's lying there in the hospital.
Harriet?
I'm in here.
Oh, hi, dear.
Hi, how'd you like a sandwich for lunch?
Oh, that'll be fine. I have a little surprise for you.
Oh, good for you.
Well, do you want to ask me what it is?
Okay, dear, what is it?
No, not so fast. It's going to be a real surprise.
Well, come on, tell me.
When you hear about this, you're going to dance with joy. You know how you're always after me to take you to something cultural and artistic?
No, but go on.
Well, you'll never guess where we're going tonight. It's cultural, and you'll love it. Fellow started telling me about it downtown, and I just couldn't resist buying 2 tickets. You'll have to be on your toes to guess it.
You got 2 tickets to the ballet.
How did you guess it?
From that eager look in your eye.
You should have seen the crowd standing in line for tickets. It must be a sellout. Why are you looking at me so funny?
When are you going to tell me about the policeman?
Well, how did you know about
That's
the
what happened, isn't it? The policeman practically forced you to buy the tickets?
Well, yes. How did you know?
Honestly, now, aren't you ashamed of yourself?
Well, no, not especially. Why should I be?
Why didn't you come right out and tell me why you bought the tickets?
Well, Harriet, you're making a big deal out of nothing. I was going to tell you, but you didn't give me the chance.
Well, all I heard was a lot of talk about culture.
Well, Harriet, this is ridiculous. In the first place, what difference does it make why I bought the tickets? The important thing is I've got 2 wonderful seats right in the front row.
Front row?
Yes. I understand this is not only a ballet, it's practically an athletic exhibition.
Well, that's just dandy.
Hey, Hey, where are you going with my sandwich?
Your sandwich, this is mine. You make one for yourself.
Well, tell me one thing. Do you want to see the ballet or don't you?
Frankly, no.
Okay, that's fine with me. Now sit home and wade my way through some of those dull books you got me a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, that won't be necessary. I'll be going downtown a little later, and I'll bring you back a copy of the Police Gazette, La Vie Parisienne, and Captain Willie's Bizbang.
Captain Billy's Whiz Bang. Whiz.
In business, she's pleasant to have around. In public, everybody enjoys her company. In private, that special young man thinks she's perfection. Yes, she's nice to be near because she's smart. She wouldn't think of offending. She relies on Listerine Antiseptic for that breathless charm. Listerine, night and morning and before every date, is her extra careful precaution. Independent research has proven that Listerine Antiseptic not only stops halitosis instantly and keeps it stopped usually for hours on end, but averaged 4 times better than the leading chlorophyll products against which it was tested. Halitosis is a real everyday problem. By far its most common cause is fermentation of proteins that are present in everybody's mouth all the time. The trouble is you could have halitosis and never know it, and even your best friend won't tell you. Why take chances when there's such a pleasant, extra careful precaution? Listerine, the most widely used oral antiseptic in the world.
He said that she said that he had halitosis. She said that he said it's true of some girls too. He said that she said the answer was simple. Here's what she said to do. Try Listerine, buy Listerine, keep breath fresh and clean with Listerine. Try Listerine, buy Listerine, keep breath fresh and clean with Listerine.
Come on in, Thorny.
Hi, Oz.
Hiya, Thorny. Sure timed this perfectly. How about something to eat?
Oh, no, thanks, Oz. Couldn't eat a thing. Just finished a big lunch.
Really? Wouldn't like just maybe a toll house cookie and a glass of milk?
Well, if you insist, I guess I can nibble on 1 or 2. Keep you company. What's the matter? Seem a little on the worried side today.
Oh, Thorny, sometimes I just don't understand women.
Yeah, they're not difficult to understand once you realize they're impossible to understand.
Harriet sure is impossible to understand sometimes. I came home with 2 tickets to the ballet today, and how do you think she shows her gratitude?
She makes you go with her.
No, I was perfectly willing to go with her. She seems to be more interested in why I bought the tickets. For years now, she's been trying to get me to take her to something like this, so when I finally bring home tickets, she doesn't want to go.
Yeah? What do you plan on doing with the tickets?
I don't know. Do you want them?
Well, it all depends on how much you're asking for them. Has to be within my price range.
Well, they're free.
Free, huh? Is that for 2?
Yeah, that's for 2. Is that within your price range?
That's the exact amount I had in mind.
I got them right here, Thorny. Here you are.
Thanks, Oz. Hope they're good seats. Want to be sure to get your money's worth.
Oh, they're very good. They're in the front row.
Okay. Remember now, you gave them to me.
Well, certainly I'm not an Indian giver.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. So it's agreed that the tickets now belong to me.
You don't have to put them in that safety deposit vault, you know. I'm not going to steal them away from you.
Well, I guess it's okay to let you in on the news. Evidently, you don't know what the ballet's about.
What do you mean, what it's about?
Well, it's called Escapades Along the Riviera, and it takes place in France, on the beach. The French beach, Oz.
Wait a minute, you mean to say there are going to be a lot of French girls dancing around in scanty bathing suits? What kind of a ballet do you call that?
Well, pretty darn good if you ask me. I understand they even sell chocolates between the acts.
Oh, Thorny, this is terrible. Well, no wonder Harriet acted so funny when I brought the tickets home. She probably thinks I wanted to see the show just to see this Riviera thing. Now, she'll never believe that I really wanted to see the ballet. How am I going to explain this to Harriet?
Well, very simple. Be honest with her. Explain that you had no idea what it was like. That you wouldn't think of going to see anything like that.
Well, and then what?
Well, if you can get out tonight, I'll take you to the ballet.
Ridiculous.
Oh, come on, Oz, be my guest. Some sucker gave me his tickets.
Aren't you going to take Catherine?
Well, I'm afraid she doesn't quite appreciate the finer things like that.
Escapades along the Riviera. Imagine that.
Well, I don't have to imagine it. I'm going to see it. And from the front row, too.
I'll just have to figure out some way of explaining this to Harriet. Maybe I ought to soften her up first. Yeah, I think we'll go down to the drugstore and buy her a nice big box of candy. Would you like to go along with me?
No, I haven't got time. I've got to get slicked up for the ballet.
Well, when Catherine finds out about this, she's liable to unslick you.
Don't worry about that. Catherine's a very broad-minded woman. On her good day, she's very reasonable and intelligent.
Well, I'll see you later then, Thorny. I'll go down and buy the candy.
Oh, wait a minute, Oz. On second thought, I think I will go. I think I'll buy a box for Catherine, too. It's liable to be one of her bad days.
Hello? Hello, Harriet. Guess who?
I give up. Who is it?
It's Clara.
Clara Randolph.
Well, for goodness sakes, Clara, you could have fooled me.
Yeah, I was using my throaty voice. It fools everybody.
What's on your mind?
Liz, what were you calling about?
Well, please forgive me, honey, if I sound a little silly, but I'm practically in hysterics.
It's the funniest thing I ever heard of, and that's the honest truth.
What happened?
Joe went downtown and found out a little bit more about the ballet.
Listen to this. It'll kill you.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Well, it does take place in France. It is on the beach.
But the date of the thing is 1870. And the girls will be wearing bathing suits, but, honey, did you ever see pictures of bathing suits in 1870?
The dancers will have on more clothes than the audience.
Oh, Clara, that's wonderful.
Is it a scream?
Joe phoned a little while ago. Wanted to know if I wouldn't rather go bowling tonight. I wish you could have seen his face. Come to think of it, I wish I could have seen his face.
Are you going to make him take you to the ballet?
Oh, you bet I am.
You know, Harriet, you can fool some of the people all the time, and you can fool all the people, some of the people...
Well, whatever it is, it's the honest truth, and that's the honest truth.
Goodbye, Clara. And thanks for the news.
Harriet? Well, hello, fellas. Have you seen your mother?
Hi, Pop.
She went downtown.
Oh.
What's the candy for?
Oh, I bought this for your mother.
How come Mom's mad at you?
Second, Dave. Don't you think I can buy a box of candy for your mother without having an ulterior motive?
What does that mean exactly, Pop?
That means I bought the candy for your mother. It's true, we did have a slight misunderstanding, but usually I find a box of candy and an explanation straightens everything out.
Well, why don't you give Mom the explanation and give us the candy?
I will not.
We don't get anything. We can't have the candy. How about an explanation?
What is there for me to explain?
Explain why we can't have the candy.
You can't have the candy because I bought it for your mother.
What was the misunderstanding about, Pop?
Well, I came home with a couple of tickets for the ballet.
The ballet? Heck, that's sissy stuff.
It is not sissy stuff. A lot of men go to the ballet. At least a lot of men will be going tonight.
How come Mom's mad at you? Didn't she like the ballet?
Well, yes, but the feminine mind is a very weird and complicated machine.
Like an airplane, huh, Pop?
Yes, without a pilot. I find that women are sometimes very difficult to understand.
I'll say, there's this new girl in school, and I can't understand her.
What do you mean?
Well, she's different from the other girls.
Different in what way?
She doesn't like me.
Oh, do most of the girls in school like you?
Oh, sure, they all do. They think I'm cute.
Oh, Ricky, stop bragging. You're not cute at all.
I don't know. I was looking in the mirror today, and I'm not bad.
Good for you.
You make me sick.
Oh, yeah? I suppose this new bow tie isn't pretty sharp.
Well, look, fellas, one argument in the house is enough for today, huh?
Yeah. How come Mom doesn't want to go to the ballet?
Well, This year the ballet is going to be rather... Well, I don't think you'd understand. Yes, maybe you would.
Go ahead, Pa.
Well, this year the ballet is going to take place on the beach in France.
So what?
No, I guess you wouldn't understand.
Well, there's Mom.
Oh, yeah. Look, fellas, I'd kind of like to talk to your mother alone. Would you guys go outside and have some fun?
Oh, heck, I think it'll be more fun in here.
Oh, Ricky, don't be so nosy.
Hello, dear.
Hi. I have something for you. Surprise? Oh, I better forget that word. See, I bought you a box of candy. Some Riviera mints that... Riviera?
Thank you very much, dear.
And, Harriet, I just found out what the Riviera Ballet is really all about. Thorny told me.
Oh.
And honestly, dear, if I'd known it before, I never would have bought the tickets.
Well, at least you're honest about it.
It doesn't interest me anymore now. I'm glad you don't want to go. Who wants to go see a show with a bunch of girls dancing around with skimpy bathing suits on?
Oh, of course. Girls in skimpy bathing suits. The Riviera number.
I'd much rather sit home here and relax with a couple of those delightful books that you got me for our anniversary.
Ozzie, why don't we go to the ballet?
You mean you'd like to?
Yeah, I think we might enjoy it.
Well, like I say, I don't care for that sort of stuff, but I could be talked into it. I mean, if you want to go, and say, hadn't we better hurry? There'll be quite a crowd there, I understand.
Well, it's only 4 o'clock. The ballet doesn't start until 1870. 8:30.
Oh, yes.
What kind of seats do we have?
Well, don't you remember I told you they're wonderful seats? I was telling Thorny...
What's the matter?
I gave our tickets to Thorny.
Oh, that's all right, dear. I have 2 more right here in my bag.
Well, don't tell me that same policeman passed some off on you.
No, his wife did. He was out to lunch.
Had me worried there for a minute. I was afraid we were going to have to miss it. I know you're looking forward to seeing it.
Oh, I wouldn't miss this show for the world.
What are you giggling about?
Oh, nothing. It's just my fiendish sense of humor, I guess.
Well, what do you mean?
Dear, did you know that this whole ballet takes place in 1870?
1870?
Uh-huh. And do you know what the bathing suits look like in 1870?
No, I don't think I do. When did Clara tell you about this?
Oh, she phoned me a little... How did you know Clara told me?
Well, she's the local Pony Express, isn't she?
Matter of fact, she did tell me. Joe found out and called her. She was going to make him stay home tonight, but now she's insisting he go to the ballet.
Oh, poor old Joe.
Yeah, poor old Ozzie, too. You're not going to worm out of it.
Well, of course not. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, by the way, Joe said to give you his best regards.
Joe Randolph?
Yeah, I met him down at the drugstore. He was buying a box of candy for Clara.
Well, what for? She isn't mad at him.
No, but he figures she will be when she sees the ballet and finds out the little trick he played on her.
You mean that Joe deliberately made up that 1870 business?
Let me see if I can remember his exact words. He said there's more than one way to bag a cat, and I do mean Clara.
Children love the fresh, lively flavor of Snow White minty Listerine toothpaste. So it's nice to know that no other leading dentifrice, no chlorophyll product, can do more for them and for you than Listerine toothpaste. Because Listerine toothpaste gives you Listerine's special ingredient, luster foam. Can help your toothbrush cut down tooth decay as much as 60%. Keep your mouth clean and fresh for hours. And look at the money you save. This thrift pack gives you not 1, but 2 big 45-cent tubes for only 59 cents. That's right, 90 cents worth of Listerine toothpaste for only 59 cents. Boy, if only you could save this much on everything you buy. No wonder Harriet Nelson says Listerine toothpaste is your best buy by far. So, buy now.
Well, there's really not much more to tell you in our story for tonight. Oh, you might be interested to know that Ozzie and I went to the ballet and enjoyed it tremendously. The Thornberrys were there and the Randolphs. Just about everybody in town. Oh, and there's one more thing you might get a kick out of. The very next day, Ozzie went downtown again. And who do you think he met? Okay, whom do you think he met? He was walking down that very same street